The 4 most common reasons people sell commercial property too late. The last market correction cost owners 30.3% from 2008 to 2010. Owners who sold in these counties experienced losses because they sold too late. Some of the losses they accrued were 23% in flex properties, 26.2% in retail, and 10.5% in industrial. Office went down 48.9%, and the average overall per square footage loss was 30.3%. For the past 45 years, market cycles have lasted 10 years. According to Dr. Chris E. Lee, historical real estate cycles have started around the 3rd year of each decade. They've gone through a transition phase. In the 8th year, they end and plateau. Past growth phases have all started on the 3s. Past transition phases have all started on the 8s. So why then do owners wait to sell their commercial properties? Well, the first reason is complacency. In market cycle psychology, people start off at the bottom of the market. They have disbelief. This market's not coming back. Then they hope, well, maybe it's improving. Then once things start to pick up, they buy in. This might be the start of something good. Then they become ecstatic. I love investing. I'm never selling. It's time to double down. Then the market corrects, and they enter a state of complacency. They say this is just a cool-off period. The market will pick up again. And then they start to worry. Well, what's going on here? This is denial. My properties are good ones. The values will come back. And then ultimately, they capitulate. And they say, what happened? How could the government just stand by? Complacency is the most dangerous state to ignore. It's the moment before the market corrects and values decline. It's when buyers pull out of the market. And as demand falls, so do commercial real estate valuations, i.e. 30.3% from 2008 to 2010. Reason number 2, ownership and identity. According to Dr. Richard Thaler, Daniel Kahneman, and Jack L. Netsch, who did studies of behavioral economics and looking at the attitudes and behaviors of people who buy and sell, Richard Thaler initially observed that people, to avoid loss, will overvalue what they own. Kahneman and Netsch then did a study at Cornell with a bunch of undergrads and coffee cups. What they found was that the group that had coffee cups that they were told they owned were unwilling to sell for less than $5.25 a coffee cup. Their less fortunate peers, who didn't have the coffee cups but were told to come up with a value to buy coffee cups, were unwilling to pay more than $2.25 to $2.75. Corey Morwedge came along and finished up another level of study on the endowment effect and found that people are not actually afraid of loss, but they overvalue from a sense of possession. That the item, in essence, becomes mine. It becomes their identity or a part of their identity. And therefore, they're not willing to let go of the item. Reason number 3, loss aversion. So why is it so difficult to sell in a market decline? Well, according to Brofman and Brofman, the authors of Sway, The Irresistible Pull of Irrational Behavior, people go to great lengths to avoid perceived losses. They will tend to succumb to their will to recover what once was. Will spend whatever it takes not to lose, be it time, money, or emotional resources. So going back to market psychology, when the market's going up and our emotions are rising to a point of being ecstatic, we enjoy the ride and we remember what it feels like to be at the top. But when the market corrects and we enter complacency, we tell ourselves this is just a cool-off period. And then we start to worry, we go into denial, and we capitulate. But what happens is we continue to chase our losses. So the question is, how much will it cost to ride the dip, and is it worth the wait? A lot of people wait too long, and they end up selling at the bottom. Reason number 4, self-reliance time traps. The 4 time traps are self-education, consulting friends, doing it yourself, and hiring a traditional broker. Time trap number 1, self-education. Any search on Google can turn up free data, blogs, market reports, and opinions on what's happening in the market. A search for commercial real estate trends turns up 152 million results on Google. A search of commercial real estate trends YouTube turns up 310 million results. Time trap number 2, you can consult friends, family, and non-commercial real estate advisors. Most will not be the one to say sell. It's easier to say no and risk being wrong than to say yes and risk not being right. Any friend, family member, or trusted professional will give advice and opinions. Most will not have the data that you have seen here, and you need to beware not to succumb to anecdote-based advice like, my friend made a killing in real estate, you should hold on, it will come back. Time trap number 3, do it yourself. Anyone can post a property for sale on LoopNet where 500,000 listings are available with $240 billion in property for sale. LoopNet is known by commercial real estate brokers as a poor quality lead source. LoopNet may be a marketplace, but buyer interest there still wanes in a down market. In fact, according to Google Trends, LoopNet interest from 2004 to 2010 actually imitates the market cycle. As you can see here, the market rose to a peak and then it went through a decline into 2010. Time trap number 4, hire a traditional broker. According to the National Association of Realtors, there are about 2 million active real estate licensees in the United States. That means 1 in 164 people in the USA has a real estate license. Most rely on what's called the 3 Ps. That means put the property on the market, i.e. LoopNet, post a for sale sign out front, and pray that someone shows up to buy it. The National Association of Realtors Commercial Member Profile Report came out in 2017 and found that 59% of traditional brokers have been in the business for 26 years or more, with an average age of 60. 12% focus on investment sales, 74% belong to LoopNet, and $4 million is the median annual transaction volume from commercial real estate activities. In our market area, this is equal to 1 deal. So very few resources have the expertise to ensure the successful sale to the right buyer at the right time, like MANSARD. 88.9% of our recent sales closed on time and our clients accepted offer price. That's because we deliver engaged buyers who close, guarantee experience and knowledge, and outrank our competitors by average sales transactions per broker. Some recent sales results include these sales. And what people are saying about MANSARD? If you're curious about how we can help you successfully sell your commercial real estate, schedule a conversation with us today. Call 617-674-2043.